Let's see. So you're kind of here, and you're just trying. So only go as far out. So I don't know if you kind of see. It's like a windshield wiper motion.
Okay.
So I know that's a problematic position for you.
Mm-hmm.
So only go as far out as you can kind of feel comfortable. So if that only means 5 or 10 degrees, then 5 or 10 degrees is what you're going to do. But what you're trying to think about is you're trying to slide your shoulder blades together as they're kind of coming down and back.
Oh,
I mean, that's
okay.
kind of the most important thing. So I don't know if you kind of see that, but you're here and trying to kind of come down and back, almost like there's a piece of string on your sternum and kind of coming together. And then same thing here. I don't know here. Hold up. So these are the muscles that you're targeting, and those shoulder blades should kind of come together. So I don't know if you kind of see that there, but that's where you want it to come into your hand.
Okay.
You want to feel that come into your hand. Yeah.
Okay.
Like just kind of strap it around the door handle or close it in the door jamb, however you want. And then you're going to do the same motion. And if it hurts to bring it up too high, you can do it low. That's fine.
Okay.
When you're kind of doing the same motion, but you're coming kind of pushing that same push-up position. So what I want you to think about is, like if you're reaching behind a cabinet or something, you have to reach a little further.
Okay.
Like that's kind of the motion. So you're here, and you just have to reach a little further. So it's just kind of that motion there.
Okay.
Now the other sort of caveat or modification that you at home.
Yeah, I have a few.
You can do a band. Either way. You can use a weight or a band. I'll show you how to do it both ways. So same band, same motion. You're going to put it behind your hands there. So I've got it. So it's kind of there.
Uh-huh.
But I'm going to be lying down.
Okay.
And so the same exact motion. My elbows are pretty much straight. And I'm trying to reach just a little bit further.
Okay. Can you put those on the patient portal thing?
Did I? No.
No, I mean, can you?
Oh, yeah. Can I? Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So it's just kind of that same, and you can even do it standing. It's that same motion. It's just like the push-up on the table where you're kind of trying to push your spine.
Okay.
It's the exact same motion, but you don't have your body weight. It's just a little bit easier that.
Cool. That sounds good.
Okay, so that's going to target any muscles.
Okay.
But again, for you, you're probably not going to be able to come out very wide.
Right.
Yeah, so just work with what you can and then bring it back. And if you want, you can even add a little bit of resistance. But here, what I would encourage is you're just going to come out ever so slightly and just hold. So you're not going to do repetitive. It's more about isometric, just like your doorway exercises.
Okay.
So just come out here and hold. If you can come a little further, great. But my guess is it's going to be painful or bordering on painful to do a whole lot of range of motion with that. And so you can either do like little teeny tiny mini ranges of motion, or just the straight isometric where you're just trying to hold it as best you can in a relative. And if it hurts too much, straight out in front, you can also kind of turn it a little bit to the side and just hold.
Got it.
At a 45 degree.
Yeah, that's my best position actually.
Yeah, so that would be, and you could hold it essentially with one hand and bring the other out to the side and just kind of work a little teeny tiny, safe, relatively pain-free range of motion. And that's kind of the name of the game with shoulder stuff, is we want to strengthen it. Obviously there's something significant going on with the rotator cuff. There's if we were to do an MRI, my guess is there's probably a small tear, definitely probably tendonitis, bursitis. The cuff is irritated. And I would even probably argue that it's probably even torn. But I mean, I've been surprised where, it's really weak. And then once we get it calm, how to get everything strong. And then you kind of see what's left. Is this truly the plateau? Is this really kind of as good as it's going to get? And then you can kind of make a decision moving forward. Do you want to do cortisone? Do you want to do surgery? What does that look like? But the first step is get everything calmed down and then get stronger. And then you sort of see what remains.
Okay.
But with that being said, the joint is a very, very small joint. And so if any of this stuff is irritating, or if you go back to PT, you're like, man, it is really sore. You want to kind of tread very lightly, because any inflammation in that joint, you're going to feel right away. And so if you're doing these exercises, you're like, I know I need to strengthen, so I'm just going to push through it. Don't do that. Just change the sets or reps, or give yourself another day of rest in between. So you're not flaring it up, because you just want to, it's going to be baby steps, and you're at with everything and how it's going to resolve. What happened?
So maybe this is arthritis also, because, and the right one seems to be following the same pattern of the left one. It's not as bad, but because it kind of has to do double duty, and I try to be really careful of it so I don't make it as bad. But it does get those, like it's a little swollen and like throbbing, and I just don't want it to follow like the left one. Maybe by doing the exercises, maybe that'll be what helps it. Oh, I can't hear you. Wait a
I
minute.
can't hear you either, Lauren.
Okay, there we go.
Gotcha.
All right. So 2 responses definitely. You're kind of going, yeah, probably some arthritic changes. That's a pretty common sort of telltale, because, it's common for, one joint to degrade similarly to the other. Now, if there's a trauma or sort of precipitating event, then that's sort of, you can kind of, that is another piece of the puzzle to some extent. And then the other piece to that is, if you sort of had some arthritic changes in that right shoulder is a little bit irritated to begin with, and then the left shoulder gets injured, and now your right shoulder is having to kind of pick up the slack, then the right shoulder, starts to get irritated as well. So my guess is probably underlying arthritis in both, but unfortunately left shoulder got flared. Now it's really irritated. But now the right shoulder is getting flared because it's had to do everything that you're doing on the left for the right. And then the other piece of it would be just the same rules apply. So if this guy's getting irritated, you got to ice it up, calm down, try not to push, whether it's, doing stuff around the house, lifting stuff, try to be really cognizant of keeping that tendon calm down. But at the same time, you want to do as much as you can to push the progress, to push the strength, push the endurance, push the range of motion, but at the same time, not pushing it too hard to where it flares up. So that's kind of the long and the short of that answer. So sort of this isometric or just a pull with the band. In addition,
I don't have bands, but I do have like a tube, a rubber tube.
Yeah, that's fine.
That'll work just well. Okay.
That'll work. And then the other one is going to be kind of a strengthening range of motion. Now, I'm not sure if you could get your arm up this high. But what you'll do is
I can get it in front of me that high.
Okay,
but,
so you're going to
but not
what
to
about
one
at
side.
can you do it at like a 45?
No, I can't do it out to my left. It'll get down to about a 25 or 30.
Okay, what about you're right in it, kind of like not straight out in front, not straight to the side, but you're kind of raising it halfway in between. How high can that? You could get it up.
Yeah, I can just get it up there, about
Okay.
like that.
Okay, that should be okay. So what they'll do is you're gonna do
Maybe a little lower if I were actually going to do something.
Okay.
Like about 40 or maybe 35.
Okay. So then let's do. So if you're only getting about 40, let's do it on the table.
Okay.
And then when you're done,
Is that going to be on the thing too? On that
I
page?
can. Yep. I don't know if you have a picture of this, but I'll note it. I'll put a little email message.
Okay.
If it's not. So just, and you're always going backwards. So when we're going backwards, we're opening up that joint until we get to midline, then it kind of goes the other way. But anything kind of, between 90 and 90, so backwards, it's going to be opening up the joint. If you go forward, you kind of close down the joint. So I always want you to go backward circles on this.
Okay.
And so you're here doing backward circles. And then at the end, you can kind of just stretch it. So I'm at like a 45 degree. Again, I'm not forward on. I'm not sideways on.
Right.
I'm at about a 45 degree, coming out, and I'm just using that table to kind of stretch. And right now I'm demonstrating with my head up because I'm looking at you guys. But when at home, you're going to be a little bit more here. And whatever angle you need to adjust to make it a little more comfortable. And again, tiptoeing up to the paint. You're not cranking on it. You're just trying to get it to keep range of motion without too much stress or strain. Just don't come quite as far. Whatever your body is allowing is what you're going to take. So work with what your body gives you, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
All right. That looks like it would feel good. They all feel good. That's the thing that I like about the last time I did physical therapy for my back, but
do a good job of letting you know what it can and can't do. Mm-hmm. And so if something's getting flared up, as a PT, it's kind of our responsibility to say, okay, we're barking up the wrong tree here. Let's figure out a different way to get at this. Right. Now, with that saying, you said it kind of looks like it might feel good. So if you want, I'm here kind of on the sink. And so you can kind of stretch on the sink, and I'm using my body weight to get even a little bit of traction now through that joint. So I don't know if you can see that, like I'm holding on to the sink.
Oh, okay, got it.
And then I'm kind of pulling against the sink to stretch this part of my arm. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And so you can fool with that. Again, if it feels great, go for it. If it feels like it's helping, it's a good stretch, or it's a good hurt, fabulous, right. Keep it up. Okay. But if it feels that stretch with it.
Sounds good.
Does that all clear as mud, right?
No, when you're doing it, I follow the frame.
That's fine.
This one, I can't, it's like it never gets beyond a certain point.
Yeah.
The other one, I can go all the way up and back down.
Okay.
I just didn't know if there was something, well, this one would be a good stretch.
It's very similar, yeah. This one would be very similar to that. And
that's good.
So if you like kind of the concept of just being able to work on kind of reaching up, you can use your right arm to help support. And then on the way back, try on the way back down to control it a little bit more. So you support lifting up, and then on the way down, use a little bit more of your arm without fully supporting it.
Okay. All right. And then your floor contraction and a butt squeeze.
Probably something for your back that I did. Because we were talking about, like, maybe that second visit, we were talking about your back a little bit.
I remember that one too, because that was.
What's that, Jen?
No, I was just saying I remember that one too, because that's when my video recording wasn't working anymore, but I got audio of that. So we have the audio, but we don't have the video, and it's like, what were we doing there?
Pelvic floor contraction. Oh, I know. I was talking about a 2-for-1. So you kind of start. Hold on. All right. So here. So pelvic core contraction. So I kind of engage that pelvic core first, little bit of a butt squeeze, and then I'm doing my glutes.
Oh,
So we're kind of coming here, trying to get your shoulders down to that. So it's the same kind of W exercise that we started talking about today when we started our conversation. But yeah, that's what we were talking about. Because I was like, oh, it's a pretty one. Yeah, now it's jogging my memory. You're like, what the heck? To get that posture.
like even like a row your boat sort of thing.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Okay. You got it.
Right.
You got it.
Sounds like fun. Whoops.
Cool. All right, ladies.
Thing.
Is that all your questions there, Kay?
Yeah, I think so. And
Okay.
It really depends.
She is a doctor of physical therapy.
Okay, well, he's the guy that does intake at this group where I've been going to do the massage therapy.
Okay, good.
So, depending on what he says, and if they can offer something that's there that I can, somebody can show me what to do and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and feel my problem areas, I might set something up on a regular basis with them.
I think that would be good. Two reasons. One, I think having someone work kind of on your neck, your first rib, your mid back, and getting the shoulder moving better, because those are all areas that we sort of established in that first visit that were contributing. I don't think your neck is the problem, but I don't think it's helping. And so if someone can kind of work, if they're doing some manual therapy, make sure that you're doing everything correctly, appropriately. And then it's a little more real time too, to say like, oh, like as you're doing it, you're going, actually, I thought that was okay, after 3 or 4, but now after I've done the second set of 15, like it's kind of bothering me a little bit, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, so let's maybe just, if you just want to call,